Welcome to the wall. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Let's get started.
I don't know about the rest of my single folk, but every day single, I become less and less interested in the idea of a relationship or marriage. I've had my fair share of relationships. Some were okay, some were terrible. I genuinely just feel like there's nobody out there that I am compatible enough with to settle down. Maybe that's selfish of me, but I honestly don't care. I feel like so much of my life is centered around taking care of other people and not taking care of myself. When I think about my dreams for the future, it used to involve getting married, but I don't know if that's something I want anymore. I used to think being alone meant that I had to give in to the feeling of loneliness. And while I do feel that way sometimes, it's actually very freeing to be able to do what you want without having to answer to anybody. Maybe I'll change my mind eventually. I don't know.
If someone's absence brings you peace, you didn't lose anything. Towards the end of my first marriage, I had taken a trip cross country with my daughter. Initially, the trip was supposed to last 1 week. And the time came close to that 1 week being over. I decided, you know what? I'm not ready to go home. I want to extend it another week. And then my cousin had asked me, wow, don't you miss your husband? I thought about that for 1.3 seconds. No, I don't. The answer is no. Truth was, I could have stayed for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and I would have been perfectly fine. That was one of the first signs. That was one of the first times that it really sunk in, and I knew something's missing. It was only a matter of months after that we separated. You feel more at peace and less stressed and more yourself when you are not around somebody that is a huge red flag. Your partner is meant to add value to your life. They're meant to make things easier. They're supposed to be your teammate, right? So instead of you being the one to do everything, they're there to help you. So if you're with someone who's not doing that, it's probably not your person.
Oh, hell no!
The ironic thing about all this is that her husband also had peace when she wasn't around, because during those 2 weeks, he didn't look for her either. So he was even happier that she was gone. This tells us that she brought no value to his life. Brothers, responsibility is kryptonite for women.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Whenever a woman tells me women are always flirting with my husband, they're overly friendly with him, it makes me so uncomfortable. Why is he not setting boundaries? That is a married man's job to set boundaries with other women. At some point, it is his fault that women keep getting the message that they're allowed to be too friendly with him. Whether you're a married man or a married woman, it is very easy to shut things down when someone is being inappropriate towards you and disrespecting your marriage. I have talked to a lot of women that are like, oh, this woman, she touched my husband's arm and she's overly friendly every time we see her. And it's yeah, your husband is actually at fault now. That is his fault for not setting boundaries, because he should be sending a very clear message that he will make a fool out of anyone that disrespects his marriage and disrespects his wife. It actually is as simple as that. And yeah, good looking people are going to get attention from the opposite sex. That initial attention is not their fault, but it is their fault when they don't set boundaries. And this is a very black and white issue. Whenever women are like, this woman keeps flirting with my husband, my question is always, why will he not set boundaries? He's willing to hurt your marriage instead of hurt her feelings. He should be hurting her feelings. She disrespects your marriage.
The masculine man always sets boundaries. That's clear. But if a man does this with a woman who enjoys male attention, he's immediately labeled insecure. And even more so when he does it on social media, like Instagram. Now, do women set boundaries when it comes to the attention they receive? No, because the reality is that women are more territorial than men. They know perfectly well that a woman's worst enemy is another woman. It's the classic double standard. When they want attention, it's fine. When their man gets it, it's disrespectful.
Especially if you're in any type of marriage or relationship where there's any type of abuse, which cheating is emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people don't recognize that, but it's a fact. It absolutely is. And if there's any type of somebody taking advantage of you or abusing you in any capacity, or even just any type of toxic relationship, there's so much trauma that comes along with that physically. And for me, the exhaustion and all of that, I was just in fight or flight for so long, fighting through this situation. Felt like I was completely alone and isolated, and I truly was just exerting every ounce of emotional energy that I had into this situation, and I was genuinely just exhausted, you know. And I got to the point after where once I had finally gotten into my own apartment and I had gotten out on my own, and when we were finally no contact, the exhaustion was crazy. I felt like I could not sleep enough, but I was always like weak at the same time. And there was just like this pit, like well, occasionally like I'll still have it, you know, but there's just like a pit in your stomach and in your chest that just like is constant. Like it's like the physical heartbreak. It just stays with you.
Stop it. Get some help.
Honestly, nowadays, everything is called abuse. There's nothing a man does that isn't labeled that way, even if he never yelled or raised a hand. Let's be real. Don't talk to me about abuse. Just tell the truth. You got involved with an unstable Chad who took you on an emotional roller coaster, and you became addicted to the chaos. But now that he left you and the relationship no longer benefits you, you call it abuse.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but having a man or getting married is not going to solve your problem. I was married. I was in a very long relationship, and I will tell you, the man does not solve it. The man often is contributing to it. Every problem, every angst, every misalignment in your life is for you to solve, and you have the power to solve every single thing that doesn't feel in alignment in your life. This idea that having a man is going to solve those things for us is one of the most delusional things I've ever seen in my life. Whatever your life looks like right now, if you feel like this is not the life that I want, it's up to you to go out and create the life that you want. Like, get your money right, get your career in a place that you're excited about, build friendships, find love outside of romantic love. Create the world that you want to live in. Because I swear to God, one of the most disappointing things in life will be this lie that has been sold to us that finding romantic love and partnership is going to automatically flip a switch and suddenly we're in our dream world. One of the biggest disappointments in life is when you find romantic love or you find yourself in romantic partnership and crickets. Absolutely nothing has changed outside of the fact that there's someone sitting next to you on the couch now. And it's not to discount like the beauty and the joy and the wonders of romantic love, but it's just not going to solve everything else. We have to snap out of the delusion that it will and instead empower ourselves to create the life and the world that we want to live in, and then let romantic love be a part of that if and when it comes.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
A relationship is meant for both to build a future together, not for the man to solve your life. If you have trauma, go to a doctor, not your husband. He's not your therapist, nor is he getting paid for it. The problem with many women is that, to have a fulfilling relationship, they want the man to be everything: therapist, emotional support, provider, companion, protector, and in the end, they end up stealing his peace. But a man who has no peace with a woman will quickly discard her in silence. Not all men are willing to carry massive emotional baggage because they know that kind of woman brings nothing to the table, only problems. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. Would you be in a relationship with a woman who doesn't bring you peace? Have you ever left a woman, and did that contribute significantly to your personal success? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.